Welcome back to the channel, guys. The Prince Vaughn here, and today we have a different type of video. Today I'm going to discuss with you guys what it's like for me to play fighting games while also having ADHD. So for those of you that don't know, ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I've had this for as long as I can remember, since I was like, I don't know, like 2 years old. I was diagnosed with it very young. They usually diagnose you with it very young. I'm not exactly sure how those things go nowadays, since I was born in the 90s. I know that medicine wasn't as understanding as it was back then. Diagnoses may have gone up, they may have gone down. I'm not exactly sure of the statistics, but I've had it for a very, very long time. I'm 24 years old now, and I've been dealing with it my entire life, pretty much, for as long as I can remember. What some of the symptoms are is that it can be hard for you to focus on a task, like very simple tasks sometimes. It can cause impulsive behavior. I used to deal with that a lot as a kid. Trying to just do whatever the fuck in the moment. If I wanted to move around, I was moving around. If I wanted to say something to the teacher, like I would without raising my hand, you know, shit like that. It can cause forgetfulness, moodiness, being against following rules of structure. Dealt with that a lot as a teenager. Repeatedly doing actions for no reason, and even hyperfocus, which is something that people usually don't think about when they hear ADHD. They usually think, oh, it's just that you can't pay attention, but sometimes you pay too much attention. ADHD is more so an attention span problem than you just not being able to pay attention at all. Now, how does this translate into my gameplay? So for me personally, I struggle with focusing on multiple aspects of the game at once, and my mental stack gets overloaded very, very easily. That's something that you'll hear a lot of people talk about. Like for characters like Broly, like, yeah, he's slow. He doesn't really have mix-up options. It's either frame trap or command grab. But the point with Broly is that you want to overload your opponent's mental stack so they can't necessarily react to your reactable command grab, and you make them hang themselves, right? But say for example, I'm trying to play neutral, right? So I'll be jumping around, you know, double jumping like everyone else, blah blah blah, IID back, you know, jumping forward, IID back, stuff like that, IID forward, just double jumping around. But I might like double jump, call my assist, you know, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, I called my assist, but I'm so focused on just moving around the screen and calling my assist that I'll forget to go in after I call my assist. And then at that point, I'm at a disadvantage in a neutral because now I'm down an assist. I pretty much wasted my assist. And if I did hit them, sometimes I will recognize that I should go in if I hit them. I might not always hit confirm it, but I will go in. Like the other day I started doing this. But I guarantee you the next time I play, I'm probably gonna forget all about that shit. Or I'm gonna be so focused on doing this that I'm not gonna use my 21 assists for anything else, and I'm gonna get smoked for trying to use a beam. I guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. I'm either gonna forget to do that, because this was actually giving me some mileage yesterday against my friend, against CJ. And because this is plus, it's not plus, but it jails into vanish, right? So if they block and I call my assist, I can vanish. They block the 21 assist and I can start some pressure, right? If they get hit, I can super dash. I can call her super dash and still get a combo. If they block and I decide to super dash, the 21 assist may save me, but I'll be in. And other times I'll completely forget about this, right? This is something very important in neutral. If you want to avoid assist, super jump and float is very important, especially dealing with beam assist. So when people use beam assist, usually they like to take to the air or they'll run across the screen. Now be careful when people call beam assist and you're under them, because usually people like to super dash, and I still have this habit too. If you ever call a beam assist, just look out for super dash, because more than likely if they want to avoid the assist and you call it while they're in the air, they're going to do everything they can to stall their air momentum to not have to block it, and that includes super dash. So just make sure you're on the lookout for that. And another thing that I still don't really do is I don't dash and super jump enough. to get across the screen. Like, I can't moon jump and shit yet, but this is something that's very helpful to do because it'll help with you punishing like beams and projectiles and making it to the other side of the screen. Say you don't have that much space, right? So you're like over here and they're like that range right, or full screen. You not dash jump, but if you dash, I'm messing it up. But if you dash and super jump, I don't know why he didn't die either. But if you dash and super jump, you can easily get out of the corner. As you can see, I don't practice this. It's kind of hard to do on stick, to get that super jump as soon as possible. But yeah, if you do that, then you're out of the corner easily, right? But the main problem is that I'll do these things and fixate on them, and I'll forget about the other things, and then it's like I can't necessarily put them together cohesively. So like, this is good, you know, even fast falling is good. Like, I'll forget that I can fast fall sometimes, you know, to not be in the air for as long. Or even just a regular super jump into a fast fall, super jump, float, fast fall. You fucking I think you could fast fall, float, I'm not sure. Yeah, you could even fast fall and float, or just even falling down normally. I'll forget about those things, and it's like, I feel like if I could put those things together, then my neutral and my movement would improve a lot, but I just have a lot of trouble utilizing all those tools at one time. And that might be the case for a lot of people in matches, because you have a lot to think about, but movement is so important in this game, that it should be second nature to you if you want to be good at the game. Never, ever, ever neglect your movement. Now again, my hyper focus or my lack of attention, or a combination of both, will make it very hard for me to adjust to my own mistakes, my opponent's mistakes, or just what my opponent is doing in general, right? So sometimes I'll get like super fixated on baiting my opponent's defensive options or whatever options they may have. So sometimes, if it's my first time fighting somewhere, or if like it's somebody I know, I'll be like super fixated on trying to bait reflect so I could punish them for it. Because at that point, it's like, oh, if I baited your reflect, that's a free kill, right? Or I want to discourage them from doing it later on in the match or the set by showing like, hey, you reflected and I baited it. Just know I can bait that. I will bait it and I'll kill you for it. You know what I mean? Sometimes with Broly, after his level 3, right? People like to, I don't necessarily want to call it fuzzy vanish, but that's what I'll call it. People like to, delay their vanish sometimes when I do my level 3 Oki. So for example, right, hold on. So here Broly gets a safe jump, or you can just do like dash up 2M, right? So sometimes what I'll do is, instead of going for that safe jump, I'll do it early. I'll whiff the jump heavy, and let me just show you again. Sometimes I'll whip the jump heavy and go for command grab, right? But usually, since people are delaying their vanish, what will happen is I'll go for it and I'll get vanished on and I'll get punished, right? Or sometimes I'll just IAD in, command grab, or I'll mix that with like dash up 2M. Or sometimes I'll just go in 6H, I'll dash up 6H, I'll dash in Dragon Rush, whatever it may be. Sometimes I'll even make them block the jump heavy and command grab and they'll still vanish out. So sometimes it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna dash up and I'm gonna do nothing, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch that vanish. And then they don't. They wake up mashing, they wake up jumping, they wake up just doing whatever the fuck, and then, or I'll try and bait the vanish. I'll either preemptively 2H and get vanished anyway, or I'll be like, oh, they're not doing anything, let me take my turn, and I'll 2L, and then they'll vanish my 2L. So yeah, it's tough. What I started doing now is, also in baiting Spark, what I started doing now, if I want to bait Spark, is I'll just move forward a little bit in 2S, because the beam is kind of active, so if they Spark, they'll get hit by the 2S, and I can do something like that. And then since Broly's combos are so long, he can dead run out your Spark timer if you're doing level 1 sparking with his next combo, and if I have the meter, you're still gonna die for it anyway. Chances are, if you got level 3 by my Broly, Your health, you're definitely probably gonna be around like the 4,000 HP range, maybe even like the low 3,000s, mid 3,000s. And with shirt off, you're most likely gonna die. You're probably gonna die. You're either gonna die or be in a very, very, very bad situation, where if you even get sneezed on, you're gonna die again. This also applies to UI's tech. Like, I'll just sit here on UI's wake up a lot. Like, I won't go for my meaties, and that'll cause me to mess up my own meaty timing and get mashed on, or just let him take his turn back, which I should never do. But yeah, I'll just be so fixated on stuff like that. It causes me to give up my turn and lose a lot of momentum. Same thing with guard cancel. Like, I'll be so fixated on guard cancel that I'll keep staggering and I'll get mashed on for it. Trying to bait super dashes and shit, especially with 21. Like, this is a good tool. That's a good tool as well. Like, her key blasts are good. They're kind of slow, but recovery's not bad. You'll see me doing this a lot in neutral, trying to bait super dashes, especially if they're gonna die, or trying to bait raw tags. And then I'll be doing this so much, it's like, why are they not super dashing yet? And then they'll super dash at me while I'm doing my key blast, and I'll get smoked for it. And then sometimes I'll be doing this shit for so long, trying to bait the super dash, that when I actually do bait the super dash and I'm not shooting a key blast, I'll dead forget to punish it and forget that I was baiting it in the first place. And sometimes in my play, it might show as me being stubborn. So take, for example, a situation like this, right? Say I vanish, right? Sometimes I'll be so fixated on trying to catch their backdash that I'll always dash, and I'm not that good at doing the dash block OS yet. So I'll get hit. I'll be so patient trying to bait reflect that I'll lose my turn sometimes, because I'll just be so fixated on that one option and not considering the others. When if I want to beat reflect or like backdash, I could really just IAD at them, right? But I just won't be considering stuff like that most of the time. Also, other situations like this, 21, sometimes I'll like to cross people up after vanish because she has point blank cross ups. And what'll happen is I'll try and go for it and I'll get smacked. And it's like, damn, next time I vanish, I'm like, surely they won't match again because it was risky. They'll do it again. Next time, I'm like, alright, they're not gonna do it this time. They'll mash again. Instead of just doing this, because they mashed the first time, I'll be so stuck on trying to cross them up that I'll just keep getting punished for it over and over again. And even in situations like this, where like I might have a low block stun assist, and I'll try and go for a cross up to not have to worry about cross up protection, I'll still get hit. Like even there. Or I'll not frame trap with it properly, or I will frame trap and it'll get reflected. See, in that situation I avoided the 5L, but I didn't get the cross up because I messed up. I entered my very first City of Mayhem tournament last Saturday. I played this team. I played it with Broly Point. I lost my first match to Joe Rod NYC, 0-2. He's pretty good. And then the second match, like I was feeling it, had all the momentum. I was about to kill his UI, and then something happened, right? So I was looking at his health bar, and I had Broly on point, and I was like, okay, 3 level 1s will kill, but I wasn't sure if level 3 would kill, because if level 3 would have killed, I wanted to keep Broly in and have him powered up against his Bardock and his Z Broly, because my S Broly on point was just like tearing through his team that second match. It was really my S Broly and I think my Vegeta that was doing most of the work. In the second match, my 21 didn't even get on the field. Like, she was on the field, but she only really got in. I think the only time she got hit was because I messed up a guard cancel, and she got punished for that. But she didn't really do much, except obviously like DHTing in. But I'm going to upload that match eventually. I'm not exactly sure when, probably this week or the week after. I'm not sure. I'm trying to cut down on my upload schedule a little bit so I can give myself more time to rest and more time to come up with ideas and better content for you guys. So I dropped my level 1 because I did it too late, and basically this is what happened, right? I did it like that. I dropped it, I got punished, I lost Broly, I lost my momentum because I had used my spark already, and I was down bad. No, I didn't use my spark yet. I used it to, I guard canceled Broly out when he was about to die, and I used my Spark on Vegeta, and I got his UI out, but I was down by so much that like I kind of just fell apart. But it is okay, we will endure, and I'll definitely be entering the City of Mayhem next week to try and avenge that loss. Coming for you, no ID. But nah, I made a good friend in him now. We're actually be cool with each other now. We'll be playing each other like regularly and shit. I'm probably gonna train with him more since he beat me. Also, another problem that I had in that match was that I was so focused on trying to tech Dragon Rush. I mean, not trying to tech Dragon Rush. I was so focused on blocking UI because I'm so scared of him that I was getting eaten alive by Dragon Rushes the entire match. Like, I don't think I tech. If I tech Dragon Rush, I probably only tech one. I don't think I teched a single Dragon Rush that entire match, to be completely honest with you guys. I lost probably like 60% of my entire team's life to Dragon Rushes. Like I was getting opened up by them shits a lot. Now we had a little wardrobe change because I'm actually taking 2 days to record this video. The first day of me recording this, I just wanted to take a break. Like I was really tired, and then I wanted to play some matches. And I'm actually very tired right now. It's 2:36 in the morning recording this, and I'm gonna have to edit it after and make the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm tired, but yeah, I'm gonna be cutting down on my upload schedule. Now, I also have a bad habit of like tapping buttons when I'm in block strings, and like I do it kind of like rhythmically, not necessarily to mash all the time. I'll just do it just because, and I've had that habit ever since I started playing Street Fighter. I'll just be blocking and like just pressing buttons or whatever just for no reason at all, and it'll deadass get me smoked sometimes because this game's input buffer system is so like OD. I'll get smoked for trying to have my own little rhythm going on. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses again for why I make the mistakes I do or why I play badly at times or in general. I'm just trying to tell you guys what it's like being a fighting game player that has ADHD. But yeah, that's what it's like for me being a fighting game player with ADHD. Let me know if any of you guys have ADHD, if you guys have ever experienced anything that I'm talking about in this video. You know, just let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share. We're almost at our sub goal for the end of the year. We're trying to reach 300 subs. Right now we're at 287 as I'm recording this video. If you guys could, you know, drop me a sub, follow me on Twitter. I'm also trying to get 100 followers on Twitter. I'm at, I think, 93 right now or something like that. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting, and I love you guys. Stay beautiful, stay powerful. Prince Vaughn out.